and so another year ends. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Chamber of the Wraith. My name is Brian, and today we're going to be talking about my top 10 favorite games that I played this year. Now, there were a lot of games that I missed this year because, quite frankly, 2021 sucked. But at the same time, I found something new. I found emulation, which I do not officially endorse, just so you know. But with emulation, I was able to find a way to record some of my favorite games from when I was younger. I mean, Sly Cooper, Hulk Ultimate Destruction, Godzilla Save the Earth. All of these games I've been wanting to do a series on for literally over a decade. I never had the means to do so until now. So, a lot of these games are going to be of the emulated sphere. Again, I do not officially endorse. But since I'm doing it, I'm not going to say, don't do it, because that would be a little bit hypocritical. I can, however, not endorse it. If you have a way to play the games on their native hardware and record it that way, I highly encourage that you do that instead. But because of what a shit show of a year this was, we could probably get away with, a little something that helps this channel along, right? So without further ado, hold on to your butts, ladies and gentlemen, because it's time for me to reveal to you my top 10 games that I played in 2021. Now, unfortunately, this first game I can't actually show gameplay of. Why? Because it's a Nintendo game, and Nintendo is infamous for this kind of stuff. You probably actually just saw what they were, but I'm lumping them all together in one fell swoop because they're basically the same game anyway, just with the exclusives and such. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl from the Pokemon series. These, as far as I'm aware, are the first main series console Pokemon games to not be made by Creatures Inc. or Game Freak. These little guys were made by Ilka. And you may have also heard that there's been a lot of issues and glitches and terrible things that these games have done because, they were because of things that are in them that should not have been in them. And they are there. But, come on, these two just get in here for nostalgia alone. These were the generation that I got started in. I got started in Gen 4. So, all of the Pokemon that are here, it just brings a smile to my face. Hell, I like some of the more obscure Pokemon in here than I like some of the more popular Pokemon in other regions. What can I say? So, I'm not going to be a PokeTuber, not for a while yet. I did try to do a Pokemon Pearl emulated series a little while back, I'm pretty sure, but I got incredibly demoralized because I managed to accidentally reset all of my progress because it was an emulator and I hit a bad key like an idiot. But also, I don't want to get in trouble with Nintendo. That would be really, really nice. So, unfortunately, no official Nintendo content on here as of yet. But regardless, these little guys, I got the double pack for Christmas. That's why I have them both. Thank you very much to the little sister for this one. And without further ado, we can now get onto the stuff that you can actually see. I do apologize. Let's take a look.
I'm going to enjoy this.
Number 9 goes to Batman Arkham Origins, which is really the redheaded stepchild of the Arkham series, but is still one of the best games in this series. Yeah, I'm saying it right now, this game is better than Arkham Asylum, and is probably better than Arkham City. I'm not even kidding. And you can even make a case for it being better than Arkham Knight, but, take what you can leave as you will. That was a terrible run, but let's move on to the actual good one. The reason why this game has been getting a bit of a cult following as of late is because it's become kind of a tradition that every year Arkham fans play Arkham Origins because it comes out around Christmas time. And as it is played through, a lot of the features become more nostalgic. The use of the unique remote claw gadget, the moments in the story that really hammer the point home of this being an early Batman, that sort of thing. It isn't my favorite development for several of the characters, but many of the characters here, even 15-year-old Babs, is one of my favorite interpretations of the characters in anything that has anything to do with the comics. I love Copperhead, for instance. And if you played Cold Heart, that you get a really good adaptation of one of the best Batman stories featuring Mr. Freeze that has ever happened. I highly encourage that if you played the Arkhamverse games and have not had a chance to play Arkham Origins, please do so. Unfortunately, it has yet to be remastered in any official capacity. Like, the closest you could get is the PC version, which I have had modded in a few small ways in order to get all of the content possible for me to show off, because some of the content was PS3 exclusive, and I can't record off the PS3. Plus, the help of Judge recording Lady Shiva stuff was muy bueno. Regardless, this is easily one of the best superhero games out there. It's just got a bit of a black mark because it had to compete with Arkham City and Arkham Asylum at the time, which many people consider to be incredible. Although I feel Arkham Asylum has not aged particularly well, and I will always find one of the biggest little plot weaknesses in Arkham City ever so funny. But regardless, play Arkham Origins if you get the chance. It should be relatively cheap, and you are not going to be disappointed. I believe they fixed all of the glitches that happened on the PC version of Arkham Origins, and if not, Steam has many wonderful guides to help you out. On to number 8.
Godzilla 90s versus King Ghidorah.
Next up is Godzilla Save the Earth, one of the wildest fighting games you will ever play, and one of my favorites, because what other fighting game is going to let you play as 16, well, closer to 19, of the world's biggest, scariest, most iconic monsters out there, and absolutely mollywop the heck out of them? Well, this game is going to satisfy very nicely. It came out for the PS2 and the Xbox back in November of 2004, and it's still really fun, if janky as all hell by modern fighting game standards. But this isn't even a modern fighting game. This game is almost 20 years old. Wow. Wait, really? Yeah, 2004? It's almost 2022. Oh, my marmalade. That is a little bit nuts, actually. Yeah, so this game is a little bit janky, but it does have a lot to do. You can play destruction mode to beat the crap out of the city and get the most amount of points. You can fight your friends, up to 4 of them at once. And of course, you have the multiple arcade modes in order to get all the monsters so that you can have everybody from King Ghidorah to Mogira to Godzilla 90s, all the way to Space Godzilla. Plus, it's actually pretty well refined. This is, I think, the best overall of the Godzilla fighting games in terms of control and hidden mechanics and the like. Godzilla Unleashed for the Wii had the largest roster, but I would not recommend playing that if you're ever thinking about even coming close to making this game serious, which I don't think will ever happen. But, you know, stranger things have happened. I mean, they made a Shrek fighting game esports. Why can't they make this Godzilla game, right? On to number 7. Oh boy. The Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. Probably the first superhero-based video game that I played, and really the thing that got me to really enjoy the Hulk. And then I got some of his comics a little while back. Unfortunately, I actually lost them, but, you know, that's the nature of the beast. But this game is incredibly fun, and if a lot of you who haven't played this game have played the Prototype series and are wondering, hey, this kind of looks familiar, well, you can think of this game as kind of the skeleton that led to Prototype a few years later on the PS3. And then, unfortunately, you know, Radical ended up getting absorbed by Activision and getting culled after Prototype 2. But this game is still really fun to play on emulator or on official software. Again, I recommend you play it on official software if you can. You can create steel fists out of cars, smash buildings. This is really the quintessential Hulk experience. There was a similar style Hulk game made back in 2010, I believe, to coincide with the Hulk movie, but it was not as good. Full stop. It was not as good as Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, and nothing is really going to top this one, in my personal opinion, as far as, you know, superhero games that just make you want to go smash stuff. Unless they decide to, I don't know, give Superman 1 and let him cut loose again. Or, more accurately, give you a Bizarro mode that lets you Bizarro smash the entire city instead of saving it. Kind of like what they were trying to do with Superman Returns, the video game, but that never really went anywhere. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed the list so far, but get ready, because some of this is going to be really surprising still. Moving on to number 7. after this building goes down, because that is where it really gets fun. Next up is Spider-Man Miles Morales. This is a really good game. A little bit short for my personal taste, but there's nothing wrong with a short game if it is extremely fun.
Don't think those guns are for paintball.
This game is extremely fun. The story is one of my personal favorites for superhero games in general, although it is quite multi-handed to its predecessor in my personal opinion. But Miles Morales is fun, he's cool, all the tricks he can pull off and all the venom and invisibility hijinks that they're capable of doing. A lot of people were concerned that this is just going to be a glorified add-on, but this really is its own game. A big interval between Spider-Man and the first Spider-Man game and the upcoming Spider-Man 2, which has me personally quite excited indeed. This has all new mechanics, the camouflage mechanics, the venom mechanics, tricks that are brand spanking new, new takedown mechanics. This feels more like a Spider-Man 1.5 than it does like just an expansion of the first Spider-Man game. This really does feel like its own beast, and I'm really glad that it does, because otherwise, why would it be, you know, touted as a PS5 release, launch style release, and all of this other stuff? I'm glad that they, at Insomniac, took this game seriously and made it its own beast. I can give credit where credit is due. Plus, you know, never hurts that Miles Morales is
hiding in the bushes?
Time to move on to number 5.
You're in for some.
And speaking of number 5, Marvel's Spider-Man. Which, sorry if I fumble a lot, I tried to remember how to do the tricks in this game, and no dice. Couldn't figure it out for the life of me. But this is really probably the best superhero game that's out there in many people's eyes, and I'm really inclined to agree. At least in terms of quality of make and all of the things that you can do. But the reason why it's all the way down here and another superhero game is higher is that I didn't have as much fun this year as I did with back in 2019 when I ranked this game the number 1 game that I played that year. Rightfully so, and really, this highlights one of the most interesting things about this particular top 10. It's not necessarily the quality of the game, it's the games that I had the most fun with. And I just didn't play that much Spider-Man 2018 because I already finished it, I already beat it, and outside of grabbing a couple of things for Spidey songs here or there, or footage for this video because I did play it, this game is not nearly as high, not because I somehow ended up disliking any portion of the game since then, God no. It's literally just that I had more fun with the other games, and that's why this list is always so
following a vehicle collision.
Why I was kind of like to touch on certain aspects of when I make this list, like, oh, these games did not come out in 2021. Hold on. Whatever. I played the game this year, so that counts. Alongside, you know, actually enjoying the game. So, in this case, while a Batman game did manage to beat this particular game this year, I wouldn't blame you if you were like, excuse me? Time to move on to number 4. Holy guacamole, what a roster! LEGO DC Supervillains was the sort of token LEGO game that I played this year, and it is so fun! The quirky dialogue and the story beats are, you know, standard issue for a LEGO game, but look at the roster. You can play as literally hundreds of DC people, and if there's anybody here that they somehow missed, well, you can make your own. And naturally, unfortunately, they don't have Oracle here, they have Batgirl, but at the end of the day, that's one small little blip that leads me to not hate this game at all. Really, I do like it.
See anyone try and
but
stop
the
Batgirl
issue
today.
that I have, that I should probably make mention of real quick, it's not necessarily an issue, it's something I have to bring up, is that there isn't much gameplay in this section because I couldn't figure out how to go back and just do random things on Earth. in this clip. So it's just me running around with the bats and kind of figuring out what to do from there. But trust me, if you're looking for a good LEGO game to play, pick up LEGO DC Supervillains. You will not be disappointed. Time to move on to our bronze medal winner. This is a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier with the SpiderMan video. Batman Arkham Knight was in 6th place back in 2018 and is now the bronze medal winner for 2021. Now you're probably wondering why I even have duplicates on here in the first place, and I figured I would explain. If a game that has not been on the list for at least 2 years is allowed to come back on, basically. But if it was from 2019 or even later, like a 2020 game that I covered last year, no, I couldn't do that. So I tried to keep duplicates to a minimum for that, for the reason of just, you know, it would be kind of boring to see the same 10, 15 games on here over and over and over again, you know what I mean? But Batman Arkham Knight is a pretty cool case because it's the literal example of what I was talking about with Spider-Man. I didn't play a lot of Spider-Man, but overall I feel like Spider-Man might be the better superhero game, at least from a storytelling and story content kind of perspective. And meanwhile, this game, I don't think I've played any other game more than I played Arkham Knight, genuinely. When I last checked in before I went too crazy into the Arkham video, I did literally 300 plus hours of this game, and I've probably done more. I've definitely done more since then. But it's wild to think that, you know, I've been playing this game for so damn long, and it just never gets old. I love playing Arkham Knight, and I don't intend on stopping anytime soon. Unfortunately, the way things are going, just like the last Batman game that I played for some time yet, because Gotham Knights, I have major beef with this. But that's neither here nor there. Time to move on to our silver medal winner. Any guesses as to who that might be? The penultimate game on this list is Horizon Zero Dawn, a game I will continuously sing the praises of even as I'm having trouble finishing it just because of time. This game is a fantastic adventure game created by Gorilla, and I figured it was a good time to talk about it because A, I really love this game, and B, excuse me, this game is coming out for PC if it isn't already out now. And it is a fantastic game where this has kind of been kind of the PlayStation example of a game that was exclusive for the longest time. It was going to be exclusive, kind of spread out from there. So more people are going to be able to play this game, and I highly encourage that anybody who does have the chance to play it on a beefy enough PC or on Microsoft Windows or what have you, to play this game. Seriously, it's fantastic. Especially if you're a big fan of Breath of the Wild type games, this is definitely where it is at. Seriously, give it a go. And while a lot of people were very angry for one reason or another that this game was going to be not an exclusive anymore, I say the more people that play this game, the better, quite frankly. I understand why exclusives exist, but, you know, the more people that are able to play these games, the better. Time to move on to our winner in this case. Another PlayStation exclusive, but this time one that I believe has stayed exclusive. At least for the time being. The number one game I played this year and had a blast playing. And the game that I figured was the most fun, despite the fact that I had troubles getting through it due to some slumps that I'm sure you guys are familiar with, is Ghost of Tsushima. God bless this game. Sucker Punch brought their A game, and nobody should be disappointed when they play this because it is absolutely incredible. I would highly recommend that anybody who has a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 grab this game. Whether it is the director's cut or not, play this game. Seriously, it's incredible, it's fantastic, well polished, and quite frankly, if you're kind of sick of the open world genre, at least give this one a try. It's not it is open world, yes, but at least it does things in a unique fashion. No real waypoints, you gotta follow the wind, for instance. Everything feels pretty concise when it comes to traveling around on horseback. Fast travel doesn't cost resources, unlike Horizon Zero Dawn. All of this sort of thing. If you enjoy Sucker Punch games like Sly Cooper and Infamous, you'll feel right at home playing this game. And if you haven't played this yet, I highly encourage that you do so. So, those are my top 10 games I played this year. What games have you played this year that you think I missed? Whether because I didn't end up playing them, or because, you know, you've seen me play them and are like, why did this game not end up here? You enjoyed this kind of game, didn't you? Which indeed I did. But, you know, for one reason or another, they did not beat Ghost of Tsushima, Arkham, Horizon Zero Dawn, or any of the other games. So, all I can ask is that you enjoy this video. Let me know what your top 10 favorite game is of 2021 that you played. It doesn't have to have been released in this year. Don't forget to be awesome, my friends, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Oh, and have a happy new year. There's going to be something special January 1st that you guys might want to check out.
Shouting on the outside what I'm feeling.